I'll never surrender. I'll never surrender. I'll never surrender. Not going down. I'm gonna stand my ground till the final hour, till the fight is over. Gonna soldier on, 'cause I'm an army of one. Gonna feel my power till the fight is over, till the fight is over, till the fight is over. I'll never surrender. Not going down without a fight. I'll never surrender, 'cause I was born to stay alive. I'll get through the struggle, pull myself from the rubble. It's never over until it's over. I'm not going under. I'll never surrender. I'll never surrender. I'll never surrender. I'll never surrender.
It is Wisconsin Bass Battles Stage 1. We join you from Lower Red Lake in Gresham, Wisconsin. Stage 1 presented by YOLO Tech. We join you from Gresham, Wisconsin. It's a cold start to the morning. It's 60-degree temps here this morning out there with 6-mile-per-hour winds. Looking like it's going to get up to about 72 degrees Fahrenheit today in the end of the day towards 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock, and it's going to be about 10-mile-per-hour winds. So tell us how that's going to affect these anglers today.
Yeah, so early on you'll probably see some topwater action, real calm in the mornings, and then as the day progresses you'll probably see some more moving bait type stuff, some swim jigs, chatterbaits, maybe some crankbaits, but that wind is going to play a major factor into how these anglers are able to catch their fish.
Absolutely. So a lot of different tactics. This is a pretty clear lake for the most part. It's got a little bit of murky and a little bit of stainedness. So we're going to possibly see some of those different tactics come out at different times depending on those different conditions. What we're actually going to do is go ahead and check in with our anglers right now as they are driving to the lake to see what their game plan is for the day.
All right, good morning guys. It is Derby Day. It's currently 3:57 in the morning. We've got about an hour and 10-minute drive to get up to Lower Red Lake up in Gresham. Conditions at 65 degrees right now, no wind. Should be a sunny day. And it's a lot warmer than we were expecting, but I'm not going to complain about that. So hopefully we catch them on top water, some swim jigs, and we might have a few stragglers still bedding. So it should be a fun, exciting day. So stay tuned for it.
All right. Well, it is currently like 4:20ish or whatever. We're driving up to Lower Red Lake. I got the light on. I probably shouldn't because that's illegal, but nonetheless, we're driving up there. This has been 8 months in the making for putting this all together. Miles and I have just been planning this out since we kind of, halfway did these last year. We just kind of slapped them together at the last minute. But, we took a lot of time this year, made sure that we did it right and stuff. And, but we're really looking forward to it. Today for tactics, looking at probably doing a lot of flipping and a lot of frogging. Weather has changed drastically in the last week, I'd say, if not 2 weeks. At the start of this, we were planning on going for pre-spawners and possibly some bedding fish. Seems that we had a 90-degree surge this week, literally 4 days straight of almost 90 degrees, and it seems that they've already spawned out and pushed off their beds. So we're looking for straight post spawners today. So that's going to be interesting. Gonna try to go for some shallow stuff and all that, but we're just gonna see how it goes. It's a 4-fish limit, so I got 8 hours to figure the lake out, and that's basically 1 bite every 2 hours. So if we can manage that, we're in good shape. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully we can figure something out here. All right, so now that we've seen both of these anglers' game plans, tell us a little bit about the difference between Miles' game plan, Trevor's game plan, and then tell us the similarities between them as well.
So the main similarity is they both have a little bit of moving bait going on. Miles is more so looking at more swim jigs, chatterbaits, that sort of stuff, more top water, where Trevor is primarily going to focus on flipping throughout the day.
So, couple differences, couple similarities between the both of them. But like Trevor was mentioning as well, this has been 8 months in the making from when they slapped this all together last year, just kind of last minute. They wanted to really put a lot of time into making this done correctly and more professionally. So I think that they have done really well on selecting all the lakes that they wanted to do and putting this together as a great production. So with that, we're going to take you to the Lower Red Lake boat launch and take you guys out to Blast Off. So we're going to check in with them there. As we join these anglers here on the water, we see Kozlowski starting to make his first run. It's the last calm out there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. And there's Miles blowing by him.
A little bit faster of a boat there. Now we go to Stewart as he's flying right past Kozlowski. Looks like there's a tad bit of a boat trail up there. Might be following someone.
Definitely was following somebody.
A little bit of rough water there. A couple ripples in the water. One thing to note about this lake is that it does get shallow very, very quick, and those rocks can definitely come up on you quick. Looks like Stewart has found his first spot here.
And here's Trevor just now catching up to Stewart.
Looks like he's gone right past him and actually sees a couple of fishermen, probably that wake just in front of Stewart beforehand. Looks like it's on his first spot that he wanted to go to. Looks like he might have to find a new spot now. Definitely having to find a new spot.
Looks like he sat down and is going to be fishing a point.
And looks like here, Miles, we're going to take a look at Google Earth as Miles is on this point right here. And then Trevor's looking to fish another point just up ahead of him. We go to Stewart now on the point. Looks like he's fishing some sort of white bait, possibly a chatterbait, maybe a swim jig.
Then it looks like Trevor could be chucking. Yep, looks like he's chucking and winding probably a swim jig or a chatterbait. It's like, as we saw, Miles was throwing around a white chatterbait.
I think both of them are starting out with some white baits this morning, so very interesting to see with the stained water. That's the color they decided to go with.
That's interesting because there's no shad in this lake.
So why do you think both anglers are going with the white?
I would guess because of the water clarity, just shows up a little bit better for them.
Looks like Miles has changed up his tactics pretty quick here as he looks to flip a couple of down trees and branches on that point. Guess the swim jig or chatterbait was just not doing it for him.
So here he's actually working back into that channel off of that point. Possibly have some staging fish or some bedding fish in there. Here we see Trevor's, looks like he's also switched up to flipping after the moving bait wasn't working for him.
Quite the long flip there, if I say so myself. It's not how most people flip, but it works for Trevor sometimes.
Oh, and he's hooked up.
There we go, Trevor's first hookup of the day. Looks to be a good one.
And that one looks like it'll
Yes! 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 That might. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, hang on, bud. Hang on, bud.
That fish is giving him some trouble there in the boat as he's trying to get it off the hook here.
Yes. So I was flipping this corner or whatever, and had one bite. Swung at it, missed it, and then I got my line stuck in a tree. But then kind of came around the corner, kind of flipping around in there. All of a sudden, I'm like, kind of feeling like a little bit of drag on my thing, but I didn't know if it was weeds or not. And then I started to see my line move, and I'm like, he's there. Yanked into it, biggin'. I'd go probably 2.5-ish on him, maybe 212 I want to say. I don't know. We'll see how she goes. But we're gonna make sure it's legal size, which I highly doubt that it's not, but you never know.
So quite the guesstimation there as he thinks that it's 2 pounds. We go back to Stewart here.
Looks like Miles is tossing around a frog. Let's press it.
Oh man, another hookup. Man, back-to-back hookups for both these anglers. They're hitting the top water for Miles early this morning.
One.
Looks like both anglers are on the board right here.
First frogfish of the year. Looks like that fish was pinned pretty good. Having some trouble getting him off, but that's a good problem to have when you're frog fishing.
Yeah, you want to absolutely bury those hooks into them. So you did a pretty good job there.
Number one. How skinny he is though. Just pooped on my boat.
Poops on his boat.
Got one. That fish came real shallow, a couple inches of water. that's the thing though. This time of year, normally they're spawning, but we ended up having a real cold. We had a real cold spring. We were thinking it was going to get pushed back, but then this past week it skyrocketed and we had a week straight of 80 to 90 degree weather, and the water temps ended up jumping 15 to 20 degrees in a week. So, jumped 15, 20 degrees in a week, and fish pretty much pushed up, spawned, and left within about probably 2-3 days. So we didn't really get much spawn fishing this year, not much bed fishing.
Kind of a great explanation on what's all going on there. And as we look here, this is the unofficial weight that we have for Miles, about a 2-pound largemouth right there. So not a bad start to the day.
There, he's going to continue to toss around the frog, and now we're back over to Trevor.
2 pounds, 2 ounces.
So 2-2 it sounds like.
Not gonna
for
get the job done, but it is a decent start.
So 2 pounds, 2 ounces is what it sounds like for Trevor. So right around both of the same weights for both of these fish for these anglers to start off the morning.
Both anglers definitely appear to be around the same size fish to start the day off.
But 2 different tactics here, as we saw Trevor was flipping and Miles was going more for that top water bite, and he got it. So now we look at his unofficial weight here. Again, all these are unofficial, but it's 2 pounds, 2.15 pounds for Trevor to start the day. Pretty good start. It looks like he's worked up into a bank now. And still flipping with that god-awful flipping technique. But hey, it caught him a fish, so you can't knock him for it.
Now we're back over to Miles. He's back to flipping. Looks like he's outside of that cut now, working on the main lake. Now this is actually a deeper bank, sitting in probably about 6 feet of water or so right here, as opposed to dirt shallow throwing that frog. Back over to Trevor now, he's still flipping.
Oh, a big swing and a miss.
Gosh, damn. They are on the bank. Same thing. The bait just started moving to the right. I just didn't set it in time.
Unfortunate for Trevor, but it is what it is. You swing and you miss some, but they are seeming to be on the bank for both these anglers today. What do we have here?
Okay. Catch bullfrogs today on frogs. So, somehow
That's something you don't see very often.
that one. Hey, I'm trying to help you out here.
Seems that frog does not want to be helped out to get him off there. Have you seen that happen very often, a frog on a frog?
I've only seen it a couple of times. Maybe, I think, 2 or 3 other times before that, but definitely not very often.
And obviously not what they're going after, so he's not going to be able to weigh this frog.
It's
But
unfortunate.
he could
Even
use
though
it. He could
they
use
are-
it as a bait.
They do taste pretty good though.
Good old bullfrogs.
It's hard to beat some deep fried frog legs.
As that little guy skids away, safe and sound back to his home.
As soon as it hit the water, it blew up on it.
Oh, that frog got eaten by another fish. too bad for the frog.
Somehow hooked him in the foot.
Sounds like as soon as he hit the water, that frog got blown up on, so unfortunate for him. So go back over to Kozlowski now.
I just hear like a boat motor off in the distance. I really wonder if that's like Miles just like revving around trying to figure out what to do.
And that's exactly what he's trying to do. Miles is trying to figure out something going on right now, only able to catch that one fish. Looks like he's made a run to the entire other side of the lake, and why do you think that is?
I would guess because he was struggling finding some fish on that bank that he was on. He only had one bite over there. Now it looks like he's going to run some docks.
Flip around the docks, throw maybe a swim jig or something.
And these are some of the only docks that are on the lake.
So this is actually back up right towards the front of the lake, more towards the boat launch. Both anglers were worked up way into the top end of the lake, near that back cut area. But trying a little bit different of a tactic just to see if something will work, and we'll see if this pans out for him.
And he's spinning his graph around. He only has one graph up front, and
Definitely helpful to have too. So we go back to Kozlowski now, working that bank still.
and he's hooked up again.
There's one. Oh, that's better.
Second fish of the day flipping.
Lot of action. Number 2.
It looks that'll keep as well.
Number 2. We're gonna see if he goes 14. He's gonna be close.
Ooh, that looks a little short.
Come on, baby.
Might want to get out of the way of that bank there. He might hit the bank.
They're floating into it.
I wonder if he's going to hit.
14 and a quarter. Have to keep an eye on him if he's. Oh boy.
He now realizes that he's a little too close.
I just probably ruined that spot.
I think before he said it was 14 and a quarter. So that is legal size.
They need to be 14 to keep them.
Just barely.
Put up a little fight. But he will help the total today. My guess is gonna be a pound and pound 5.
And so now here Trevor has added a 1.31 pound bass to his limit with a total of 3.46 pound for his bag.
As we go back over to Stewart, he's seen by some locals here.
Thanks. You guys catch anything?
Have any luck?
Just one little one so far.
Bass about finished spawning Friday night.
Did they? Yeah,
Yesterday my neighbor was out. He saw at least 20 different beds that the males were guarding in. I caught one off the dock here Wednesday afternoon, 20-incher.
Nice.
And it was a flat-bellied, spawned-out female.
Wow. Yeah, the one that I caught, it was real skinny. Like, it was probably close to 18 inches, not even 12.
There's some nice ones fishing.
My biggest
Crappie
one's
fishing and bluegill fishing I've caught. It's 8 to 10 inches. I mean, this lake reproduces great.
Yeah, my biggest largemouth was out of this lake. 22 and a half inches, 6 pounds. Caught that last year.
about 200 days of the year.
Wow, that's nice. Where are you guys from?
Appleton.
Oh, okay. From Nina.
Where are you from?
Nina.
Well, a neighbor over here, he's from Nina.
Okay.
You got a tournament coming up here?
No, I'm fishing a little like bragging rights tournament with my buddy right now. I'm losing for what I know.
This is true.
Yes.
Yeah, the water's down.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was one of the first things I
It's,
saw.
well, from Friday night till yesterday morning, it dropped almost 5 inches.
Really?
Then during the day yesterday, it came up about 2. Now this morning, it's down that 2 again.
Wow. Yeah,
And the thing on this lake, when the water's dropping or down, it's hard to catch anything.
I'm finding that out.
And it's just horrible.
Yeah, 'cause that was one of the first things I noticed when I started over there was the water was low. I could see
Well,
the mud bank and everything.
Tell by the rocks on the point, you know, when the water is at normal level, you can only see 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah,
I think now, I can't see that far,
See
but now
quite
I
a
think
few.
you can see probably 7 or 8.
yeah.
I went over there yesterday afternoon off the rock. I got 6 crappie in 45 minutes.
Oh, nice. Nice little meal for you.
It's good to hear some of the anglers talking with some
Well,
locals here.
The water level varies a lot. 4 years ago this time, water was up to where that white chair is.
Oh my gosh.
I've got pictures of it.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. Now, after we'd just seen Miles talking and getting some info from one of the locals on the lake, we're back over to Trevor. He's still flipping again, and it's like he might have just missed one.
Oh, there's another miss. 2 swings and a miss.
Still keeping that bait down there, though.
I know he wants it too. There's one that was just like nibbling at it.
As we go to Miles now, he's working some reed lines on a shoreline here. Swing and a miss, maybe? May have had one there. Looks to do a little bit more of a cranking or a little bit more reeling in here.
He's throwing the swim jig.
Oh, there it is, hooked up. So he's putting it on the bump board now, seeing if it's good to go. And that's a big old no bueno for that one.
A little short, didn't make the cut.
That's why you always got to check though. You never want to come in with a undersized fish. That will get you disqualified right out of that tournament.
And if the warden finds you, that's a nice fine.
Not good at all. So good for him. Tossed it back. Fish will live another day and maybe be able to be caught by someone else.
Trevor's still flipping that same bank.
I don't think he's left that spot all day.
I don't think so, but when he keeps getting bit on it, why leave fish to find fish?
Very good point. Whoa, hello. That fish came in hot and heavy.
3 of the day. Man, it's getting stupid. If only I can put some size to them. I am putting on a clinic for dinks though.
And that he is.
There's got to be one that's got some size.
First one was that 14 and a quarter. It's still legal, but don't know if this one's gonna go.
Gonna back off again. Honestly, I've been trying to make my way down this stretch, and it literally I can't get past these set of trees right here. And everyone that I pulled off of them goes legal. But this guy I don't think is gonna go legal.
I don't think so either.
Oh wow, I really got him.
It's a little small.
Oh, he was not coming off. That's good. I don't want to hurt you, bud. That's about the size I'm used to. A little 8-incher, 10-incher. Let's see what she actually goes here. It's definitely not legal, but
Yeah, that's about the size he is used to catching. Them small little ones.
a solid 10.5 inches.
Big one.
10.5 inches. Big.
Oh man, I called it. As we go back up to Miles now.
Looks like he's still working that same shoreline, throwing a swim jig. Appears the wind looks like it might be picking up a little bit.
There it is
Another
again.
one.
You got it.
See that moving bait starting to work while that wind's going.
Ooh, that looked like a healthy fish. That one might go. I think that one's gonna keep. You can see Miles is very much in the zone right now.
And that brings his total up to 3.64 pounds. That fish weighed in at ballpark 1.64 pounds.
And again, all these are rough estimates on the water, but they're gonna try their best.
Today, flipping is the deal. So I'm just gonna kind of run through my setup here. This is honestly not the setup most people would run with. I go with some really heavy line. I got 20-pound Red Label Seaguar fluorocarbon as the line. Then we have a 7-foot whooping stick. This is like a really old fishing pole from Cabela's. I got it online for like 10 bucks, but it's a heavy rod. I like that just to kind of feel the bites a little bit better and just so I can really set the hook into them. So it's got a little bit heavier action. The gear ratio that I'm running with is what is it? 6:1 to or 6 to 1. So a little bit slower of a gear ratio, but again, I'm just in it for flipping. So I mean, all you got to do is flip it right in there pretty easy and just reel them in. So it's not like you need like a really high gear ratio. And then for the bait setup and stuff, we have it's a flipping rig, so I got a 3/8 ounce Titan tungsten weight on there, flipping weight, and then I got a Vector Hooks 3/0 EWG hook. Now most people go with like a flipping hook, but I like the EWG hook, and it's like extra wide gap or whatever for those who don't know what it is. But I like it so I can kind of put my finger in it, so I can kind of like ring it around there, I guess, if that makes any sense. And then I can kind of just get a little bit more like balance with it, or not balance, like control of it. That's what I was thinking of. So I go with an EWG hook. It's a size 3/0 from Vector Hooks, and then have a peg on it, so it's pegged. And then finally, I just started using this bait and I'm really loving it. This is the Sweet Beaver 4.20 or something like that. The color today I'm going with is like a black and blue and like half green pumpkin or something like that. When I picked it up, I was thinking it was a complete black and blue, but kind of mistaken. But so far it's worked out pretty well. I caught 3 the other night or whatever on a different lake, and then caught 3 so far. So it's got a lot of action with the tails and stuff. But yeah, this is what has been really doing it for me today. Went with frogs earlier, went with a chatterbait earlier, and nothing was doing there. So I thought I'd switch it up, just try to flip some banks, and caught 3 fish. 2 of them are legal. So, you know, we'll see how she goes. But honestly, if I can just keep working this set of the bank, and hopefully the size will come with that, I don't know, who knows, we can put together a decent 4-bag or whatever, because that's what we have to work with today.
Pretty great information there from Kizlewski about his setup. You know, we were just discussing in the studio that, you know, he's going with a very low gear ratio, but most people would want to go with that high gear ratio, and why is that?
I honestly, I'm not 100% sure, but it's working for him, so why change what's working?
Yeah. So, as we go to Stewart here, looks like he is actually hooked up here. That's a nice one.
That should be number 3 for him.
As he points or shows to the camera, 3 fingers for number 3. And that fish will bring his total today to 5 pounds, 19 ounces at the moment. That third fish just weighed in at 1.55 pounds. Pretty decent fish. Total fish today for 3 for him, along with a couple of shorts here and there. Looks like he's worked that front bend there a little bit more.
Trevor's back to flipping on that same point that it looks like he started on.
Yeah, I think he worked back up into that front point. Oh, there it is. The tiptoe and pucker is what they call that. That looks to be a good one.
That might keep. He is warm.
I just hear him say he is warm.
You did.
Feeling fish temperatures now.
There we go. Another one. About 14 and a quarter again. So small ones today, but still putting numbers on the board. That's number 3 for keepers. I don't know. Hopefully we can just. I just gotta call these guys. So, but yeah, it's still helps the count. So there we go.
Third keeper there. I think we're gonna get a weight on that a little bit later. As we go back out to Stewart.
Here the wind looks like it's picked up quite a bit. Really helping him with that moving bait. Just throwing the swim jig.
That's what's been the key for him today.
Real shallow along those reed edges. Throwing this on a wind blowing bank.
Got some local talk in the background there. There it is.
You got that bite right on that point. Wow, that was drops close. He's gonna check it anyways.
Seems to be on quite the pattern on that little bend there. Throws it on the bump board now. And it looks like she will go, so his 4th keeper of the day. Nice 4-bag limit for him.
It's not much of a 4-fish limit, but he has a limit. That's going for 6.92 pounds now. That fish weighed in, surprisingly, his second biggest fish of the day at 1.73 pounds.
We go back to Gazlewski now. We see that his 3rd fish weighed in at 1.44 pounds. And that will bring his total to 4.90 pounds for the day.
So he's gone some chucking and winding.
Oh,
He's got one.
that's not a.
I don't think that's a bass.
I think that's going to be a pike. Sounds big, whatever it is.
I'm gonna need that back.
Wants that bait back. Big old pike.
Chill. Please chill.
I don't know if he wants to even touch that pike.
No, I personally hate messing with pike.
Oh, you know you did not.
Looks like it came off at the same point that he's been working pretty much all morning.
You can see on different parts of the lake how it can be more calm than others depending on how much cover you have out of that wind. So, kind of interesting to see there.
There, if you look across, you can even see where the ripples start to occur.
That hook is really in there. Pike must have swallowed it.
You catch that on a swim jig?
I believe that was actually on a chatterbait, if I'm not mistaken. Looked to be a white chatterbait and a little white trailer. I'm gonna guess that it was his TK's custom swim bait, as he makes those himself. Wrenching at that thing.
So we finally got him off.
Just an absolute monster pike. That's not what we're going for though.
And a nice release back into the water.
And you swam off, okay?
So we go back to Stewart here now. Working a couple of reed banks there.
Still throwing a swim jig, and as you can hear, that wind has picked up even more. Throwing it at a 45-degree angle from the bank. It's hooked up again.
Nice, big hook set. That fish is jumping. And there she is. You can barely hear anything over that wind. That's even with those nice windproof cases on. He's getting a little close to the bank there too. So this will be Miles' 5th fish of the day, which means that he does have the opportunity to call here. Let's look at the pull one out of the other box.
Here you can see he's just double checking all of his fish, making sure he's calling the right fish.
wants to make sure, first of all of his fish are legal, because a lot of what we have seen today is a lot of fish that are just over that legal limit. And sometimes with a little bit of stress, they actually will shrink in the live well. So again, you do not want to come in with an undersized fish. So just definitely making sure that he's got the right one.
He's finally made his decision.
And with that new fish, I believe that brings him up to a new total of 7.34. And he's culled his third one, which is now 1.97. That last one just weighed roughly. Total of 5 fish caught today. Pretty good for him.
You can see Trevor's working out by the dam. It's actually right by the bolt launch. A lot of current coming out of here. There's a lot of big rocks and boulders.
So better watch out and make sure he doesn't get any of those boulders hit on his motor or trolling motor. That could definitely do some damage. But I think he's actually trying to work a little bit of a current break here as he's hopped off to the side of where the main flow is coming out of that dam. Throwing around, I believe, that white chatterbait again. And as we take a look at where all these anglers are listed up here today, we have Trevor right up by that dam, right again by that boat launch there. And we see Miles is at the complete other end of the lake, all the way up in that corner, working those that corner bank and flipping that swim jig in there. So 2 different tactics, 2 different places on the lake.
As I was mentioning earlier about the 45-degree angle that he's working at, that's allowing him to cover more water and more depths along the fish. He's not strictly shallow, strictly deep. He's able to cover all the water columns in that area.
Actually, looks like he caught one, but not the size he's looking for.
Gives
It's a
a
quick nod and a toss back. As we see Trevor running from the dam, it doesn't look like much was going on there.
Here's we run to the south end, down by where Miles is fishing.
Oh, that does not sound good for Trevor. That sounds like a bad motor problem. Yeah, I wonder if he hit a rock or a log or... You can see Miles just up ahead there.
Well then what are you having problems with?
So it looks like he's checking out that motor there, making sure everything is good to go. As he tries to fire up, hopefully here. She fires up. That does not sound right. That is not how a boat motor is supposed to sound.
Sounds like something could be loose, gears strip.
As we go back over to Miles now, who's just up ahead of Trevor here. Still working that bank towards the end of this day. And there it is again, hooked up.
Like we said earlier, why leave fish to find fish?
Oh, he's excited about that one.
Got it? What's going on with that?
As you can see, Trevor's still having those motor problems. Keselowski seems to be a little frustrated there as he's let out a little bit of some foul language. But Miles is still looking to call that one. He caught that big one.
A little bit of a call.
Oh, I'd say quite the call.
I believe he's calling his second fish. Already, they are quite lively.
I don't know if we're filming stuff today after my motor ain't gonna work.
As we look now, that second one was the one that he called, and now it's 1.95 for a total of 7.65 on the day. Kieslewski has figured he might as well go ahead and fish instead of work on his boat and actually try to catch some fish to see if he can catch a couple more to top off the daily limit. And there he is, hooked up.
I give up, man. I caught a pike. Hooray! That doesn't help. I knew it as soon as the head started shaking. I'm like, yep, it's pike.
I had 2 of them where I hooked into them. I'm like, yep, that's a good one.
Looks like that pike is not going to help him out in this instance right here. And he got it out nice and easy. So, that might do it for today on him.
Alright, I'm gonna start making my way back to the lodge. As we come back into the studio today, it was a great day out on the water. Lots of fish catches, lots of action, and a couple problems for some people. But talk a little bit about what Kieslewski's pattern was for the day and what was working for him, what wasn't working for him, and how his day went.
Yeah, so it was early on in the day, Trevor started flipping, and that's what he stuck with pretty much throughout the whole day. Early on, he found a small school of them on the point that he was working, and small stretch just past that, he was able to catch I believe three legals off that in probably the first hour of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Caught a short, caught a pike, and that was what he went with. He caught him early on, but he never made that adjustment with the wind, and that's what hurt him. So,
yeah, it's you have to change with those conditions, and Stewart did that absolutely perfectly. He saw that the first part of the day, dead calm on the water, and he went with a little bit of top water, was able to get that first bite right away, and then had a small stretch where he wasn't able to catch anything. He didn't adjust to the patterns that was going on in the morning, but as soon as that wind picked up, he was on them. He was on a good pattern, on a small little bend, and with that swim jig, that is what won it for him today.
And it was only about maybe a 200-yard stretch.
Yeah.
If that, not even, that just kept reloading throughout the day with that wind.
So, with that, we're going to take you guys to weigh-in, and we'll see how it all pans out. Again, we have the rough numbers from the water, but not all those pan out, and we're just going to check in and see what happens with weigh-in.
All right, welcome to the Wisconsin Bass Battle Stage 1 weigh-in. We had a very long day out there, a lot of ups and downs. Weather was fantastic for our first derby, but we're just going to do the weigh-in now, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my fish, we'll weigh them, and then we'll just kind of talk about the day. This one was my first one. It's over 2. That was the second one, or the third. They're the same size. So I had a 3-fish bag today for how many miles?
4.89 pounds.
4.90, baby. Oh, hang on now.
4.90.
4 pounds, 9 ounces, 3 bag limit. Or not a 3 bag limit.
3 fish.
3 fish and a 4 bag limit. So there we go.
Yeah. Alrighty. All right, Trevor. So how did your day end up going? Like, what did you end up doing? What were stuff you were looking for?
So, day started off really fast. Caught 3 within the first hour and a half. Basically, all I was doing was flipping along the banks with a little Texas rig with a 3/8 ounce flipping weight. That's how all my fish came off today. I did catch a pike as well off of a chatterbait, white chatterbait. But basically, all I found was that the flipping was the way to go for me today. 3 fish. Wish I could have got one more to hit the limit, but it is what it is. Pretty good day so far. So, hope we can put one better together next derby. So, all right. So now we're gonna weigh Miles' fish. So Miles, why don't you go grab your fish? All right. So Miles, how many fish did you have today?
So I ended up having four fish, called a couple of times. Pretty solid day.
All right. Ooh, pretty big one. Looks like a good 2-pounder. A little bit smaller.
I had a couple that were right at 14.
Another little one. Oh, it's getting better. All right, and there's the number 4 for a total of 7.65. 7.65. So, Miles, congratulations. You are the winner of the day.
Thank you.
So walk us through. Obviously, you caught 4 fish. I caught 3 fish. So what was the difference?
So what ended up happening was the morning started off horrible. I caught probably my biggest fish on a frog within the first probably 20 minutes of the day, and then I didn't get a bite for probably a good 4 hours or so. So morning was terrible, but then this wind picked up, and then I found one stretch that I basically just ran back and forth the entire rest of the day, and it was a deeper stretch of reeds that had the wind blowing on it, and that wind was key because I was catching all of them on swim jigs, so that really helped because the morning it was dead calm and it was tough to get anything going for me.
So the wind was basically the key.
Yeah, the wind was the key for me today.
So that stretch that he's talking about was the same stretch that I caught all my fish on. So there was one single part of this lake that was really producing the bites today.
Yep.
So
yeah, and then I caught a bunch of shorts on that one, caught a few pike on it, and then was able to call a few times also. So
congratulations to Miles Stewart, your Stage 1 champion on Lower Red Lake, presented by YOLO Tech. Again, you had a great day out there, and now comes the fun part. We decided we wanted to make this series a little bit more interesting, as it already was pretty interesting.
So that way we put a little bit more on it instead of just bragging rights.
So tell us what the loser, aka me, has to do today.
Get a strip of duct tape on their armpit and ripped off.
Yeah,
So
good old waxing with duct tape. So, all right, we're gonna kind of get this stuff put away, and we're gonna send it back to you guys in the studio, and then we'll come back out here for the punishment and call it an awesome day here out at Lower Red Lake. Thanks.
All right, so as we come back here from the weigh-in there, it was a grueling day out there for the anglers. The weather had definitely changed from the start in the morning where it was very cold. It was about 60 degrees with only about 6-mile-per-hour winds, and then switched it up to 72 degrees in the end of the day and had those rough winds, and that's how Miles was able to catch onto that pattern there. But overall, a pretty great showing for the day.
yeah, both guys caught a lot of fish throughout the day. The size, though, unfortunately wasn't there. There's a lot of 4 and 5 pound fish in that lake. I know my personal best is out of that lake, 22.5 inches, 6-pounder that I caught with my dad back in April of 21. So there's some very good sized fish in there, but unfortunately our guys weren't able to get on them during that tournament to showcase that for you guys. But
It is what it is with the spring. It is always a tricky time of year to figure out these fish, but they did a pretty good job. And with that, we have to figure out what the best catch of the day was. Our brand new segment, or our brand new part of this, is YOLO Tech Catch of the Day. So YOLO Tech Catch of the Day is either the best fish, the turning point, one of the craziest fish catches, whatever it may be, the best clip of the day. I'm going to give it to you. Who do you think had the best fish or YOLOtech catch of the day?
I'm going to go with Miles when he caught his 4th fish of the day. That was really the turning point for him, and when he was able to lock in and figure out that swim jig bite on those reeds.
Absolutely. So that's a pretty awesome thing for him. He finally was able to get on that bite with that swim jig, like you were saying, and put all the fish in the boat. So pretty good day for him. What we're going to do now is we're going to head out back to Lower Red Lake Boat Launch for the punishment of the day.
Oh, gosh. So I got to apply the duct tape. Sorry
Make
for the
it long
viewers.
so I'm not...
That's long enough.
Alright.
Gosh. Oh, I can feel it just like grabbing on
You
every
ready?
single one. Buddy, remember here,
Yep.
we're friends.
You ready?
We're friends, right? That wasn't that bad.
That
Yes,
didn't
all
even
right,
stick.
thank you,
That didn't
appreciate it.
even
All right, we're
stick.
good.
That didn't even stick.
Oh, gosh. This is what you get for buying quality duct tape. We have to do
Really
this
gotta
twice
pack it
now.
on there.
I thought I did. I don't know. I thought that was pretty good. I think that'll do.
Is it on there?
I hope not. Oh! Yep.
You got a few hairs with that one.
Woohoo! Okay. Yep. That was not worth losing.
That was funny. I was, like I said, I was so stressed.
Yeah.
at 11
All right.
o'clock.
Well, thanks for watching. Yeah, that was terrible.
We'll catch you guys on the next one at Elkhart Lake.
Suddenly I'm seeing everything so different. Like I'm looking at the world through a brand new lens. Every shade of green and blue, and it's all because of you. I'm seeing everything. You make me wanna celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate tonight.